A seismic shift in transatlantic defense cooperation is unfolding as European Union leaders scramble to fortify military budgets after the Trump administration signaled that Europe must take charge of its own security and suspended aid to Ukraine. Shockwaves rippled across the alliance when, according to NBC News and corroborated by senior US officials, President Donald Trump began weighing a recalibration of US participation in NATO, potentially redefining America's commitments. Trump has reportedly discussed with aides a plan to tailor NATO engagement to favor members that meet a predetermined defense spending percentage of their GDP. Under this potential shift, the US might not come to the defense of an ally that fails to meet the threshold, a move that could undermine Article 5, the alliance's collective defense principle that states that an attack on one is an attack on all. Trump cast doubt on Thursday on his willingness to defend Washington's NATO allies, saying he would not do so if they are not paying enough for their own defense. It's common sense, right? Trump told reporters in the Oval Office, "If they don't pay, I'm not going to defend them. No, I'm not going to defend them."
President Trump, on Peter's question, are you going to make that policy, U.S. policy, that the U.S. wouldn't defend NATO countries that don't pay?
Well, I think it's common sense, right? If they don't pay, I'm not going to defend them. No, I'm not going to defend them. I got into a lot of heat when I said that. You said, oh, he's violating NATO. And, you know, the biggest problem I have with NATO, I really, I know the guys very well. They're friends of mine. But if the United States was in trouble and we called them, we said, we got a problem, France, we got a problem, a couple of others I won't mention. Do you think they're going to come and protect us? They're supposed to. I'm not so sure.
Officials also revealed that Washington is considering prioritizing military exercises with nations meeting the spending benchmark and repositioning US troops toward these compliant allies. The controversy deepens as Trump escalates criticism of NATO members for failing to meet the 2% GDP defense target, calling the current disparity unfair and pushing for a higher threshold of 5%. NATO's latest data shows that 23 members met the 2% mark last year, with Estonia, Greece, Latvia, Poland and the US surpassing 3%, Poland leading at 4.12% of GDP. Poland's Prime Minister, Donald Tusk, emphasized that Europe must take on greater security responsibilities while maintaining a close alliance with Washington.
The fact that we have to take much more responsibility as Europe for our own security does not mean that we should ignore this need for the closest possible alliance with the United States. Today, America is a bit more demanding, a more difficult partner, but we, by arming ourselves, should de facto influence the improvement of transatlantic relations and the maintenance of NATO and the alliance with the United States. It must also be our absolute priority, even if the other party does not always give signals that it is interested.
NATO Chief Mark Rutte echoed this sentiment by applauding Poland's initiative, while underscoring that the US has made its stance unequivocally clear.
President Trump has made clear its commitment of the US and his commitment personally to NATO. And it has also made clear the expectation that we in Europe must do more in terms of defense spending. And here, again, Poland is leading the way.
This potential overhaul in US NATO policy comes as Trump pressures European allies to boost support for Ukraine and prepare for a post-war security role in the region. With transatlantic ties at a crossroads, the stakes have never been higher. A dangerous gambit, where every shift in defense spending and strategy could reshape global security.